Hello everybody and welcome. In this video, we're going to take a look at color scales. This is a conditional formatting rule that actually kind of breaks the traditional true or false. And what I mean by that is it doesn't just highlight by a true or false, but in that range with those numbers, it'll actually adjust what it does or the coloring based off of if it's a higher or lower value. Let's start with the current grades. So you can highlight that entire area, and just in case you are using this on 5, this is actually pulling the table, student table, which is in this tab right here. We're just going to do it on this so we can play around with it without any formatting rules on it currently. I'm going to just highlight E, and you can see here that it is applying to that E1 to E1000, that whole column. This is in the single color rules, so you're going to switch to color scale. And what this does by default is it chooses the min value as the low and the color it'll be, and the max value, it's going to choose a different color. What this is doing is the lowest value, which is 0 as kindergarten in this example of grades, is going to be the color here. If you want to switch it to something like pink, you can see there that's a pink, and then it kind of adjusts the coloring to that green. Now, maybe you want something a little bit nicer looking and not as abrasive, but again, you can adjust those. You can adjust these colors as well, and then you can even the midpoint. So you can change it from a number. So maybe you want the number to be 3. You could do it 4 if you want it to be a little bit more weighted on this greenish, bluish color on the more top values. Or you can do a percent, like let's say 50. And that'll ultimately be whatever's in the middle. Now, again, you can adjust this one even too. So if you want it to go from like yellow to kind of this red, then to this blue, you can kind of see that that changes those colors. It doesn't look super great based off of the colors that I picked, but you can kind of see where the different grades are now highlighted the same. So all of the 1s are the same, the 3s are the same. It's just a matter of picking colors that makes a little bit more sense. One thing that these work a lot better with would be these fees. So you could add a rule, color scale, and even if you click into this, there are some default ones. So you could do like a green to yellow, and the minimum is green, so there's nothing on their balance. And you can see that these ones are starting to get more into the red, where the largest fee is here in that darkest red color. And as we are doing this, if there are ones that change, it will be dynamic. This is a formula, so if I try to edit one of these, it will break and have the ref. So I'm just going to undo. I'm going to make this just values. So I'm going to do Control A to grab the entire data set, Control C to copy, and then Control Shift V to paste values. So now all of these are values, and I can adjust it. So let's say that there's a new fee that comes to here, and it is 200. You can see how this quickly changed to a lighter color, and this is now the top. So the colors will adjust based off of where they're at in the max and min value. So it is dynamic in that way, which makes it very nice. Once when it's paid off, then you can see these ones kind of get a little darker. This one gets paid off, this gets darker, and so on. All of this is very helpful to be able to highlight specific parts of numbers. These ones made sense. Again, something like this with person IDs where each one is unique and goes up isn't as helpful in the sense that you do this, add a rule, color scale, and you can just see how it slowly changes into this darker one. Is there a place where you do that? Maybe, but I wouldn't say this is specifically helpful like this where it is highlighting specific values for this. That's just a couple of them. And these will also work with dates. So if you want to add a rule and color scale, it does work with dates. Again, since all of these are a lot different, it's kind of hard to adjust and see which one's which. Maybe we'll do something like this, or you can switch it to these greens. So the closer to this date are green, and then the ones that are earlier dates will be there too. So again, these are numbers as well, just formatted in a way that we as humans will see them as a calendar date over something else. So That's all that we're going to do with this one. Again, you can play around with the different colors, and this is really useful if you have different dashboard creating, things like that, to just get a very nice looking, clear picture of your data and the numbers and how they compare to the other ones in that data set. Hopefully you find this helpful. As always, leave a comment if you have a question. Do those social things like share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.